واشنگٹن میں امریکہ کے صدر بل کلنٹن اور وزیر اعظم جناب محمد نواز شریف کے درمیان دو طرفہ تعلقات اور علاقائی اور عالمی امور کے بارے میں باضابطہ بات چیت ہوئی۔ شکور طاہر کی رپورٹ۔
وزیر اعظم جناب محمد نواز شریف اور صدر کلنٹن کی بات چیت نہایت خوشگوار اور گرمجوشی کی فضا میں ہوئی اور تقریباً 2.25 گھنٹے سے زائد جاری رہی۔ دونوں لیڈروں نے تقریباً 25 منٹ تک اپنے معاونین کے بغیر بھی 1 to 1 ملاقات کی۔ وزیر اعظم وائٹ ہاؤس پہنچے تو ان کا نہایت پرتپاک استقبال کیا گیا۔ جناب محمد نواز شریف نے مہمانوں کی کتاب میں دستخط کیے۔ صدر کلنٹن نے وزیر اعظم کا خیر مقدم کیا۔ وزیر خارجہ جناب سرتاج عزیز، وزیر خزانہ جناب اسحاق ڈار، اطلاعات کے وفاقی وزیر جناب مشاہد حسین، پنجاب کے وزیر اعلیٰ جناب محمد شہباز شریف، سیکرٹری خارجہ جناب شمشاد احمد خان اور امریکہ میں پاکستان کے سفیر جناب ریاض کھوکھر بھی ملاقات میں موجود تھے۔ امریکی وزیر خارجہ اور قومی سلامتی کے مشیر نے بھی بات چیت میں شرکت کی۔ اوول آفس میں جناب محمد نواز شریف اور ان کے وفد کے ارکان کا خیر مقدم کرتے ہوئے صدر کلنٹن نے کہا کہ امریکہ پاکستان کے ساتھ تعلقات کو بڑی اہمیت دیتا ہے اور انہیں مزید مستحکم بنانا چاہتا ہے۔
Let me begin by saying I am delighted to welcome Prime Minister Sharif and his group here to the White House and to the Oval Office. The United States values its long friendship with Pakistan very, very much. We have a very full agenda today. All of you know of my concern to do everything we can to end the nuclear competition in South Asia, which I believe is a threat to Pakistan and India and to the stability of the world. We also want to work with Pakistan to promote economic growth there, to continue our mutual concern to fight terrorism and deal with some of the other regional issues. So we have a great deal to discuss, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Would you like to say anything?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm also very delighted to meet you, and thank you for inviting me to America. We've had meetings earlier also, and we hope to work together. And you doing your best, and of course it is also my endeavor to remove all the misperceptions which are there in our bilateral relations. And I look forward to working together with you and strengthening our relations with United States of America.
ایک سوال پر صدر کلنٹن نے کہا کہ F-16 طیاروں کا معاملہ اہم ہے۔
Let me say that I don't presume to answer for the Prime Minister, but I have a report to make to him on this issue, which is somewhat more extensive, and after we have a chance to discuss it, then we will make available, obviously, to the public where we are on this. And so I'd like to have a chance to discuss it with him, and then we'll have a statement to make on it.
صدر کلنٹن نے جنوبی ایشیا کی صورتحال کو بہتر بنانے کی کوششوں کا بھی ذکر کیا۔
You know, that's work that I always like to do. I've enjoyed my opportunities to work with the parties in the Middle East and Northern Ireland, but it only works when both parties wish the United States to be involved. Otherwise, we can't be effective. But let me say that I have been very encouraged that the two governments have resumed their direct conversations. I think that's very hopeful, and I think Prime Minister Sharif has been very forthcoming in this regard, and I think he deserves a lot of credit, and I hope the people of Pakistan support his decision to continue this dialogue with India. I think it's very important. At any time there's anything that I can do that both parties will agree to our doing, of course I would be happy.
कश्मीर के बारे में सदर क्लिंटन ने कहा कि अमेरिका उसी सूरत में सालसी करा सकता है अगर दोनों फरीक इस पर रजामंद हो.
Well, that is work that I think is important to do. I've worked, as you pointed out, in the Middle East and Northern Ireland. But the United States can be effective in that role only when both parties want us to do so. There is no case in which we have injected ourselves into a dispute in the absence of the agreement of both sides, because otherwise it doesn't work. I will say this, I want to applaud the Prime Minister for supporting resumption of direct talks with the Indians. I think that is very important. I think if you imagine what the world could be like in, let's say, 20 years. We have the dispute over Kashmir were resolved, and South Asia, India and Pakistan were both reconciled to each other and focused on a positive future. I think the potential for increased prosperity among ordinary citizens and increased global influence that both have is virtually unlimited. I think this conflict is holding both nations back and diminishing the quality of life of ordinary citizens. So I would do anything I could to help to resolve it. But the most important thing is that the leaders are discussing it again. They're working on it. And I think what they need, what both leaders need, is a little elbow room from the political forces in their country and from ordinary citizens. Because we see in place after place after place, when people can resolve old differences, then they can look to new possibilities. And if you look at the potential that Pakistan and India have for economic growth and for solving a lot of the personal problems that ordinary people have, it's absolutely staggering. There's no place on earth with a greater potential for development in the next 30 years than South Asia. No place. And if this thorn can be taken from the sides of the people, that will occur. So I would support that in any way I could.
सदर क्लिंटन ने अमेरिका में मुकीम पाकिस्तानियों की खिदमत को जबरदस्त खिराज तहसीन पेश किया.
One other thing, Prime Minister, if you'll indulge me before the Pakistani press leaves, I think I would like to say to the people of Pakistan on behalf of not just myself personally, but the United States, our country has been enormously enriched by the presence of Pakistani American citizens and immigrants. And we are a stronger, better place today because of the people who have come from Pakistan to the United States. And that makes me all the more determined to try to be a positive force and a good friend and a good partner.
जनाब मोहम्मद नवाज शरीफ और सदर क्लिंटन की बातचीत में दो तरफा ताल्लुकात के तमाम पहलुओं, जनूबी एशिया में अमन और सलामती की सूरत हाल और इस हवाले से एटमी मसले पर तबादला ख्याल हुआ. कश्मीर के तनाज़े को बातचीत में मरकजी हैसियत हासिल थी. मुलाकात के बाद वज़ीर आज़म ने अखबारी नुमाइंदों से मुख्तसर गुफ्तगू की.
We covered the whole range of our bilateral issues. The focus was on reviving the tradition of friendship and close cooperation that has characterized Pakistan-US relationship. We reviewed the regional situation, especially in the context of the long-standing Kashmir dispute, recognized by the international community as a root cause of tension and instability in South Asia. I emphasized the need for effective US engagement in promoting a solution of the dispute in accordance with the UN Security Council resolutions and wishes of the people of Kashmir. The issues of security and non-proliferation which constitute our mutual agenda, also came under discussion. While expressing our satisfaction over the progress made in the Pakistan-US dialogue, we decided to continue the process with a view to reconciling our legitimate security concerns with those of the US with regard to non-proliferation. I informed President Clinton that prolonged US sanctions had impacted adversely on Pakistan's economy. They had also impaired Pakistan's conventional capability. This situation, which was an important element in the preservation of peace and stability in the region, needed to be addressed urgently. In this context, I also called for an early solution of the F-16 issue.
What did he say to your request on Kashmir mediation?
Well, we have told him that Pakistan and India have never made any progress unless there was a third-party mediation or involvement.
But what did he say?
So therefore, on Kashmir, a third-party mediation and involvement is also very essential.
दोनों लीडरों के मुज़ाकरात का सबसे अहम पहलू ये था कि तरफ़ैन को मुख्तलिफ मसाइल के बारे में एक दूसरे का नुक्ता नज़र अच्छी तरह समझने का मौका मिला और उन्होंने दो तरफ़ा ताल्लुकात को मज़ीद मुस्तहकम बनाने की ख्वाहिश का इजहार किया। इस मुलाकात की पाकिस्तान अमेरिकन ताल्लुकात के लिए खासी अहमियत है। बेहतर माहौल में बावकार तरीके से पाकिस्तान अमेरिकन ताल्लुकात की एक नई बुनियाद रखी गई है और इस बुनियाद में दोनों के अपने जो व्यू पॉइंट्स हैं, अपने जो ख्यालात हैं, उनको बेहतर समझने में आसानी होगी। और सबसे बुनियादी जो बात है, जो माजी से हट के है, वो ये है कि अब इसमें कुछ सौदेबाजी, कुछ लो या कुछ दो, वो अब बुनियाद नहीं रही। हम अपनी बात कर रहे हैं अपने मौक़िफ़ की बावकार तरीके से, एक असूली तरीके से, और अमेरिका ने अपना मौक़िफ़ पेश किया। और सबसे बड़ी बात है कि न्यूक्लियर ताकत बनने के बाद जो अहमियत वज़ीर आज़म नवाज शरीफ को दी गई और पाकिस्तान को दी गई, उससे पाकिस्तान का एक आलमी वकार में बड़ा इजाफा हुआ है। सेक्रेटरी खारजा जनाब शमशाद अहमद खान ने अखबारी नुमाइंदों को ब्रीफिंग देते हुए दो टोक अल्फाज में कहा कि इस दौरे में CTBT पर न तो दस्तखत हुए हैं और न ही इस सिलसिले में किसी तारीख या वक्त का तयन हुआ है।
मैं अभी ये वाज़ेह करना चाहता हूँ कि अभी 2.25 घंटे की जो मुलाकात हुई है, जो वक्त दोनों रहनुमा ने इकट्ठे गुजारा है, तो ना तो CTBT पर दस्तखत हुए हैं और ना ही किसी ख़ास वक्त या तारीख का तयन किया गया है कि CTBT पर दस्तखत किए जाएंगे। CTBT पर पोजीशन हमारी बुनियादी तौर पर वही है जो वज़ीर आज़म ने जनरल असम्बली में अपनी तकरीर के दौरान बड़ी वाज़ेह तौर पर कही थी और उसमें कोई तब्दीली नहीं आई।
जनाब मोहम्मद नवाज शरीफ और सदर क्लिंटन के इन मुज़ाकरात से पाकिस्तान और अमेरिका के ताल्लुकात को नई जहत मिलने के अलावा इलाकाई और आलमी अमन और इस्तेहकाम को भी तक़वियत मिलेगी। शुक्र है, पाकिस्तान टेलीविजन न्यूज़, वाशिंगटन।